500.
So Dyche is officially appointed as Forest manager, and we had to get the boys together and Carlos to get their thoughts on everything as Forest are gonna start off with Porto on Thursday. Yes, I've read all your comments. I missed the negative. I hear it. Big up, Jay. Hope you're well. But you know what? This is football. Everyone has a side to their argument. I don't know what the boys' thoughts are. I know what Carlos's is, hence I just brought him in as insurance. But yeah, we'll get on with it. So make sure you've hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. As always, check out the sponsors of the video. OK Jerseys. Get your football tops for 15 quid. Use code FFTV. That gets you a further 8% off. All right, so it's official, boys. It's official. And as Sharky says, big up to Sharky with the £10. He goes, Sean Dyche's red and white army, united army. I do think it is quite united at the moment in the fan base. I know I have my opinions, but anyway, let's kick this one off. I want to start with you, Carlos. How are you first, bro? Good to have you back.
Yeah, I'm good. I would like to say, like, first of all, I don't know if you've mentioned it on here already, but about Stuart Pearce, and like thoughts are with him right now and the family. Obviously, really awful thing that's happened. So just wanted to start off by saying that.
Yeah, 100%, man. I sent a message to Carol as well. So hopefully they get through. No father should ever have to bury.
Yeah, it's just unthinkable, isn't it? It's unthinkable.
It's unimaginable sadness.
Exactly.
I don't know. I'm just glad that he's got a good family around him, because you need that, don't you?
And he's got a good mentality. Like, that's the thing. Absolutely. But on Sean Dyche, bro, what are you saying?
Yeah, so on the whole Sean Dyche thing, I'm all in on Dyche, but I want to add some context to that,
please.
We're in a situation now which we didn't want to be in. We didn't think we was going to be in. The whole thing with Nuno happened. Whichever story you believe, whether it was Marinakis looking to replace him with Ange, regardless of other stuff, or whether it was just the fallout of Edu and all that kind of stuff, he had to go and we had to replace him. That's the point where Marinakis should have gone for someone like Silva and spent the money which he's wasted on sacking Nuno and sacking Ange. He could have used that money to trigger Silva's release clause. That's the point. We should have done it, but he didn't. He went for Ange, his mate, and none of us wanted it. It didn't. It went exactly how we all thought it was going to go. We had half a match against Betis that was good, and we all got a bit excited, and then it just went downhill or spiraled out of control. So I'm adding context to what I'm going to say. We are in the shit at the moment. We're in trouble. We're down the bottom of the league. We're not looking good. We're conceding endless set pieces. We're back to the Cooper seasons where we're giving away free kicks around the box all the time, and we're conceding from it. We need to stop that. And who else is going to come in and do that right now other than someone like Dyche? And I've personally always quite liked Dyche. And I like what he brings to the club because of his links with the club, because he's been a supporter. I know, like, people say, oh, he actually supports Liverpool or whatever, but he's been at the club watching games. He lives in the city.
Have I, mate.
I know, but you're not a football manager.
He lives in the heart of
Dyche.
He is a proven Premiership manager.
Proven shit, organised. That's interrupting because he's droning on for too long. It's been 5 minutes now, and that's too long for him to drone on about nothing. So that's why I've had to interrupt. Sorry.
Okay, well, look, what he'll do is he'll get us organised. He will get the squad together. I think he will galvanise the majority of the fan base. I know there's some people that are not keen on this appointment, but I think the majority are really keen on it. And I think the City Ground fans specifically will be well behind him. He's going to get that squad of players organised. He'll get them all playing together again. He'll bring the feel-good factor back, which is what we need. He's the right manager for the situation we are in. We are in trouble. We are in a relegation fight right now, and we need someone like him to get us organised, get us playing compact, get us playing tight. This is the best squad he has ever had, in my opinion. I know there's a lot of criticism of what he did at Everton, but that was a really bad squad. That was appallingly low standard, and I think he did a good job with them. He kept them up. And look at what he's got now. He's got a lot of attacking players with us that he's never had before. We are a bit top heavy. We probably need some fullbacks, but I think that'll get addressed in January. So yeah, look, I'm excited. His interview earlier, I thought was brilliant. I know he did a lot of name dropping, but I like that. I love the fact that Stoney's back, and I love the fact that Werney's back. Two Forest legends from my childhood, anyway. There you go.
Who wants in? I feel like Ant is.
I feel like Ant should go next.
I feel like Ant, if he does,
Ange looks angry.
I think he's angry.
No, I'm not angry. I'm just astonished at some people's naivety and lack of football knowledge. That's what it is. Sean Dyche is a poor manager. He's had 20 years of being a poor manager. He's proven to be a poor manager. This is not a guy who you say, let's see if he can prove he's a good manager, because he's already proven to be an absolutely appalling football manager with no tactical acumen whatsoever. In all his previous clubs, the fans have tired of his absolutely awful football. I won't call it style. However, what I will say is it gives very good interview. Well done. I remember Steve Cooper also was excellent at giving interviews and fooled a lot of people, because people stopped looking at the quality of football and looked at the personality of the manager. To me, that's entirely immaterial. I don't care. I wouldn't care if he sat there today and said, Forest fans are all wankers and I hate Forest, this shit. But then we went out and won the next 5 games 5-0. I would not care. Okay, so yeah, he named a few Forest players who, by the way, weren't exactly megastars themselves. You know, let's not go overboard. We're not talking John Robertson here. We're not talking Des Walker here. You know, although he did mention he did mention Des. I think amongst the 47 Forest players he mentioned. But I'm about the football, mate. I'm not about the injuries. I'm about the football, and his record is absolutely appalling. However, I'll let you into a little secret. I'll be absolutely honest with you. I was talking to my brother, and I said to him, "You know what? The strange thing is, I am sick. I am that sick of Ange Ball, if that's what you can call it. I was that sick of us letting in on average, nearly 3 goals a game. 20 goals in 8 games we let in. Actually, instead of dreading Thursday, I'm starting to kind of think, yeah, we might actually be able to defend against them. Exactly. And if we can defend against, if we can defend against them, that will please me, you know. And that's okay for a little while. That's okay if your ambition is to be lower table relegation fighting side. Then admiring your defensive capabilities is perfectly sound and okay. If you have ambitions above that, i.e. going further in Europe and going into the top half, possibly challenging for Europe, you need more than to be good defensively. So that's my problem, that for Thursday match, I think Sean Dyche is fine, because hopefully he'll make us a bit more solid. As for the rest of the season, no. So for me, I'm afraid, I like the guy. I did like his interview. I thought he looked, as he should look, being appointed Forest manager. He looked excited and glad to be here. Thank you, John, for your very, very succinct and telling comment there. It means a lot to me.
Crypto, you don't need to bring those up, man.
Well, yeah, but we know cryptos. Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, no, you don't need to bring them up.
Yeah, I think I might take that privilege off him, actually.
Try it.
Carry on.
Yeah, I will do it. Yeah. No, so yeah, I did enjoy his interview, but as I say, that doesn't really wash with me. There's many. I mean, you've only got. I was going to no. That's it. That's pretty much all I've got to say. There's not much more to say. And people saying he's here now, you've got to back him. Of course, I'll back him. When I go to the ground, even under Postecoglou, I wasn't one of the ones, and I don't blame those that did, but I wasn't one of the ones who was saying sacked in the morning. I felt sorry for the guy, So on a personal level, when if I'm at the ground and I can affect the atmosphere in any way, it won't be negatively because I'll always back my team. I'll always back whoever is the manager at the game. Doesn't mean I need to support him all the other time, does it? When he's making
you're actually speaking perfect sense. It's like everyone takes an opinion and attaches an extremity to it. So I said earlier, okay, I don't want Ryan Yates to start, for example. Or I think I used Taiwo as the example. I didn't want Taiwo to start, but damn it, I want Taiwo to score if he's on the pitch.
When you went
I don't understand why everyone's got to bring an agenda into it. Exactly. So I think you spoke a lot of sense there, and mainly because you kind of agree with what I was saying, to be honest. But I just think I saw the interview. It was a good interview. He ticked every single PR box that they would have told him to tick as well. Let's be real here. Let's not beat around the bush, because I've never seen so much spamming of PR on their social medias as I have today. And I'm not even.
You didn't see any of that for Ange, though, did you?
Exactly.
Ange didn't get any of that.
This is to say, look, we've done
why?
it. Yeah.
The question is why, though.
I can tell you why. It's because everyone complained about Ange saying me, and Spurs. So what's the narrative given to the marketing team? Make sure it's about the fans. Make sure it's about the city. Make sure it's about the history. That's what it is.
It worked for Steve.
They would have told him to do that, and he didn't do it. So, I think I agree. Like, it's not all about you can't judge him based on his links to Forest and like his trying to get the fans on side. But it helps.
Okay. Sorry, Carlos. Can I ask you this? What are his links to Forest that should hold him up there for me with a Stuart Pearce, a Des Walker? Please tell me. Please tell me.
Carlos, I can answer this.
He was a youth player, wasn't he? He was a youth player, and he is he's been at the ground a lot, watching us throughout the years. He used to go watch his mates Woney and Stoney. He's always had an affinity with the club. He lives in the city. He lives in the city.
That's not a good reason, though, is it? Watching. I mean, I've watched.
What do you mean by not a good reason? That wasn't the question, was it?
No. I just want to know why he's suddenly been turned into a club legend. That's the thing.
He's not. I don't think he's been turned into a club legend, but I think people can relate to him because he lives in Nottingham. He's been at the ground a lot when he's been out of management, and he's been watching us. So I think people have always linked him with the club because of that, and also because of his backroom staff has always been Steve Stone and Wone. That's what's linked him with the club over the years. Yeah, he never played for us as a professional and was an ex-player, but he's got the links to the club, and I think that's what we need right now. We need that right now to galvanize the fans back with the club and with Dyche.
Can I just respond to a comment, because it was put in quite a reasonably polite way? Somebody was saying, "Stop, and we don't need you to be negative." Why is assessing the incoming manager and him falling below your hopes and expectations, why is that negative for my club? I want the best for my club, so therefore I'd want what I consider the best possible manager we could get. You can disagree with that or agree with that. That's not an issue of who is the best man to come in. I just don't think this is a positive move for Forest. I think it's a relegation fighting move rather than a trying to qualify for Europe kind of move, which is where we were at the beginning of the season.
Thank you.
So for me, I want the best, and I don't think he is the best.
And why was it okay for you to be negative?
What I also said is when I'm down there, I'm singing and shouting as loud as anybody. So I do back my club, by the way.
Just out of interest, Dan, who did you want? Who did you want to be appointed? Just out of interest.
You went there. He went there. You went there.
Well, I've said this a lot of times, Carlos, and
you went there, Carlos.
And I'm sure people don't want to say it again, but for your benefit, I will. We have people employed at Nottingham Forest on hundreds of thousands of pounds a year whose job is recruitment. They also have a lot of scouts out there, and also have a massive database that they can work from, where they can cast their eye over every manager in every league in the world. I don't have that. So to ask me to pick a manager is a bit silly, really.
No, but who did you want? No. I don't have the knowledge.
It's like last season.
Who did you want?
If you'd have said Iriola to me, I'd have said, who the hell's that? I don't want him. If you'd have said Glasner the year before that, I'd have said, who the hell's that? I don't want him. Do you know what I mean? So it's not fair to expect me to know of all the other managers. I just have a feeling that there are probably better managers than Sean Dyche out there for a team like Forest who are
available, who are available right now. Because don't forget,
no such thing. There's no such thing.
All the money on Ange Postecoglou.
No. There may be people out there who don't want to come. I accept that, but nobody's unavailable. If you went to Liverpool now and offered them £100 million for Slot, they would drive Slot down here.
He wouldn't come there.
It wouldn't come though.
Yeah, what I just said. What I just said is there may be people that want to come, but there's nobody that's not available for us.
Well, he's not available. He wouldn't come.
No.
All right, we're going to get stuck in this, man. Basically,
I hope you know what I mean. I hope you're not that dumb. I hope you know what I'm saying. You just
I know what I'm saying, but it doesn't make any sense.
Basically, Anne is saying he's sitting on the fence on the name. Okay, in a nutshell. Okay, that's what I say. Let me bring the other boys in. And go on, Ben.
Go on.
We'll go you because your camera's more clear than Ez's right now.
Well, I was feeling positive before this stream. I've had my wool pulled over my eyes by the Forest PR spectacle in the last 24 hours.
Well, they got you.
And they showed I couldn't believe it. It's probably the first time I've ever seen it this year. Awani scored a goal in the training video, which just kind of, I couldn't believe that. And then they showed the players smiling, and the whole of Twitter was like, "Oh my God, the players are smiling! It was unbelievable." And then I saw the interview as well, which I thought was quite good, from about 4 o'clock today. He wouldn't have been my first choice, and I think everybody knows that. But I'll back him 100%. Hopefully, he's learned from his Everton days. The one thing I have seen online a lot is saying that, you know, with Everton he had a crap team and it's not his fault. I don't necessarily agree with that. His win percentage across all of his Premier League campaign has been 28%. Now, 28% is not just bad. It's one of the worst win percentages ever. And some guy was messaging me on Twitter saying, yeah, but it's not with Forest. He'll have a much better team. But, you know, this is not based on a few games. This is based on 3 seasons of Premier League stats. His win percentage is 28%. I hope he's learned from it. We do obviously have to give him the chance and the backing to see that he may have changed tact a bit, and he may come out and he may stop us from conceding so many. He may have a slightly different tactical approach based on his kind of former club, etc., and how he's performed recently. But I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence as well, because he wouldn't have been my first choice, but I damn well would rather see him in there ahead of Ange. And the PR spin from the club has been fantastic. It's the most sentimental PR spin I've ever seen. So to see people like Steve Stone in there, who was part
you weren't even born when Stone was playing.
Steve Stone, I've said this before a long time ago on this channel. The first ever match I watched was, I think it was 3-2. Steve Stone clear through on goal, and he skied it. And that's I think it was against QPR.
Yeah, it was either QPR or Reading.
We're going back
from 1 yard. Yeah,
we're going back 20, 30 years. But if he performs like that as an assistant coach, then we're going to get relegated. But I hope he doesn't. I hope things change. So I'm gonna back them to the hills. But at the end of the day, they're gonna have to prove it on the pitch. And the only other point I was going to make was that I know I kind of joked about the players smiling, but if the mentality of the players is good, we know from when they were playing under Nuno that although we don't have the best team on paper, if there is a good kind of psychology in that dressing room and the players are together, I don't know this, I'm just speculating, but if the players are happy with this, I think you'll see them perform better on the pitch regardless of their skill and talent.
Okay, just before I bring Ez in, I got to fire back 2 things at you. Why do you think with a better squad he would do better? Could we not chuck
I
the
know that's
same?
not my word.
Wait, hold
That's
on.
not
Could we
not
not
my word.
chuck? Could you not chuck the same thing at Graham Potter when he moved to Chelsea? Didn't he get a better squad
I
then?
agree with you. This is not. That's not.
Or
That's
Nuno
not
when
what I
he
was
went
saying.
from Wolves to Spurs. Didn't he have a
Yeah,
better
no,
squad then?
I 100% agree. I think it's based on the manager, not the squad. The rebuttal I've had on Twitter is people sliding in my DMs and saying, you don't know what you're talking about. Under Everton, he had a crap team. I don't think that's an excuse. I think there's enough history there to show
all
us.
his years at Burnley. He had 7 years at Well, how many years at Burnley? And people say he finished 7th. He got knocked out before they even got into the Europa Cup. But the rest of the time, they were down at the bottom fighting.
And they got relegated the year they
Sean
sacked him.
Sean Dyche for me is the same type of manager as Sam Allardyce. You bring him in to try and save a season. And like I said, I'll back him 100%. But this appointment to me says that we are bringing in Sean Dyche to try and save our season.
I've got a question for you guys then. What has Dyche got to do to win you around?
Let's bring Ez in. Let's bring Ez in. Ez hasn't said a word. We're 21 minutes in.
Literally, I haven't said a word, so you can't ever accuse me of interrupting, you pricks. But I do.
I like that. It's got that for the next 10 pods. You say, I'm not.
Remember that day.
I've absorbed what you guys have said. Obviously, it was good to start off. I'm glad we got Carlos on there because I was going to try and give a bit of balance on this because I know how the guys feel behind the scenes. I know how we've all been, not say against this appointment, because I think with the situation we've been put in, like Carlos says, if Marco Silva ain't coming, I'm sorry, then we're stuck with Dyche. But with the Dyche situation, it is, from my point of view, and I think Wolfie said this as well, as far as accepting where we are and accepting that we're not going to get to the heights that the 200 million plus that we spent on players should be getting us to. We've decided, okay, survival is good enough. Maybe we'll get into the latter stages of Europe, but maybe not. It's a really backwards move for me. I said a couple of shows ago, Forest don't need a factory reset. They need an update, and this is a factory reset. This is going right back to a style of play that we were been against. And I'm even the ones who are still Cooperites will surely agree the style of football towards the end of his tenure was appalling, and that's not what we want to see. And I feel like that's what we're going back to. To suggest that because he's got a better squad, you're all of a sudden going to see expansive football, that's a load of crap. If it's his style of football, he's going to be his style of football. And I don't want to make it sound like I don't like that. I like him as a person. I just don't like his football philosophy. And that is not going to change just because he's got a higher value squad. So I'm not expecting him to pull up any trees. I am expecting us to tighten up. I am expecting us to be harder to beat. But we had that last season, and we weren't entirely excited by watching that. But maybe we have to go back to basics. And if the players are that damaged that they can't pick up new styles of formations and things like that, and we do have to go back to basics, because he will say, keep it out of the back and, try and score a goal the other end. That will be his philosophy. And it is as simple as that. And if that's what it takes to get these players on board, then that's what it takes. But Carlos used the words, and I've heard these words said before as well. Am I excited about him being brought in? Hell no. I'm not excited about this. I'll settle for it because we've put ourselves in this situation, and Mr. Marinakis has got a lot to answer for. But Crypto just touched on this. The wording in that statement says to me that if this goes wrong, it's not on me. It's on Sirianos and it's on Edu if this goes wrong. But the way I place it, the mistake. Some people have said he's corrected his mistake from bringing Ange, and he hasn't corrected his mistake. He's just got rid of him. That's not correcting your mistake. Sacking the play that is not correcting your mistake. And this is just some sort of damage limitation, if anything, bringing Dyche in. I'm not going to be excited by the football. Obviously, like Ant said, I'll still back my team. I may not back them with my ticket money. I'll say that, and that's my decision. And that doesn't mean that I'm any less of a Forest fan than anybody else in this group. Don't forget, we're the Forest fans who set this group up, set this channel up. So we set it up as Forest fans. So me deciding not to go to a few games and not put my money there doesn't mean I'm any less of a fan. But there's a few things that I just want to call out, because we've got this amazing global football scouting network, and they could only find somebody who lives in bloody West Bridgeford.
Yeah.
You know, do you know what I mean? You know, so I don't know what the point of that. We could have asked the MSR news
Some out of bloke work, some out of the bloke work living in the meadows. That's
Well, according to Carlos, that was a big positive that he lives in the heart of the city.
Yeah,
But
can he just walk to the ground? Is he close enough to walk?
Not for him. It won't be.
Perfect.
I said it earlier.
I tell you what,
the carbon footprint, isn't it?
And Ange for 2 days lived closer than Sean Dyche lived. He literally lived in the flats.
I do think from the Forest fans' point of view, from the majority of what I'm hearing from fans, and that's what it's all about. It's getting the fans on board. He's getting the fans on board, you know, which something Ange didn't manage, and it took Nuno a hell of a long time to do.
Yeah.
He's done from day one. Maybe that's enough, but if you guys watch back the member stream we did a few days ago, I called out Cooper's style. It was all smoke and mirrors, because behind the scenes, we know there was a lot of bad things going on. There was a lot of disharmony behind the scenes, even though he gave the projection that everything's going well. You know, we've got a great team spirit. We had a great team spirit under Nuno, no doubt about it. I agree, but we didn't have that under Cooper. But Cooper knew what to say, when to say. He was a PR masterclass, and that's how they brought up through the, you know, through the England ranks. And because he will say exactly the same that Southgate would say in his press conferences. So that's a PR spin. I hope there's a bit more substance to Dyche than there was to Cooper. That's all I'm saying. I'll back him. I'll back my team. But am I excited by it? Am I happy about it? I can't say I am. I'd be lying.
I was going to make this point, because talking about the fans having faith in him, the tickets sold out for Porto pretty much straight away after it was announced.
That's because Ange isn't there, man.
Yeah.
No, they sold out today after Sean Dyche.
Because we've got a different manager.
Yeah, but we know Ange is not there. Ange got sacked the weekend.
No, I already said earlier on in my opening statement that I was not looking forward to the game, and now I am. That's because Ange is not there, and we might be able to defend. It's not because we've got Dyche.
Yeah, but Ange has been gone for 4 days. Look, I think that the way Sean Dyche proves this to everyone is quite simple. Win on the pitch. Show us what you can do. He's got some tough games, though. He's got some tough games to make.
I'd like to make another observation. A lot of people, and I think Carlos was one of them, and I'm not getting on at Carlos because a lot of people have said the same thing, is that we needed somebody to bring unity to the side, some togetherness. Why are people assuming that a manager whose preferred method of training is to run around a lot without the ball, get very fit, and play basically low block football with hopefully the occasional break? Why is that going to bring people like Morgan Gibbs-White to the table? Why is it going to bring people like Douglas Luiz, Bakwa, Ndoye, Igor Jesus? Why are these players going to be excited about getting Sean Dyche in? I don't think they are, mate. I don't think they are. So this idea that he's going to bring unity to the team, not necessarily. If you're not getting a game, mate, and you're not being played in a position that you don't enjoy playing, you're not going to be happy. So they won't be happy.
I think they were so broken by Ange that Ben turning up, they would have got excited.
He does play wingers though, doesn't he?
You understand what I'm saying?
Nico Williams would have shit himself.
Well, a player like Bakwa, for example, is being told to run around the pitch 50 times.
Yeah, I hear you.
And then on the Saturday, he either doesn't play or he doesn't get a touch of the ball. You think he's going to be happy with a manager?
Yeah, I hear
yeah, but we don't know that, do we? It's just hypothetical.
But what Ange is
doing, he plays typically plays a 4-4-1, doesn't he?
We don't know who he's going to choose.
Yeah. We do. We've seen him. We've seen how he.
Let me reinterpret what Ant is saying, and then tell me if I'm wrong here. Those players that we bought in the summer that were bought and under the design of playing progressive possession-based football, how do they fit into a Dyche system?
Yeah,
will they be happy?
And how do they feel about
it? But my response to that is Edu has brought in those players, and Edu's brought in Sean Dyche.
Look, let's drop it. Shall we not be childish tonight? Let's drop all this rubbish about. No, it's not.
Okay,
Edu wanted Mancini, and Sirianos wanted Dyche. So
Have you
let's get
seen
it
the
right.
tweet? Have you seen the tweet from
Let-
Forest? The Forest account said that Edu was one of the person who chose Sean Dyche.
No.
Yes,
No.
what do you mean, no.
No,
That's literally what they said.
Mr. Marinakis has put it out there that Edu and Sirianos are responsible for bringing the manager in. That's not saying Edu chose him. That's saying they are responsible. There's two of them. One is the global football, and the other one is the global technical. The technical overrules the football because that's for the whole thing, right? Edu wanted Mancini, which, by the way, I didn't want Mancini either, but I'm just putting it out there. Edu wanted Mancini and Sirianos wanted Dyche.
How can we know that? Is that
made the choice.
how do we know that?
With Sirianos.
Yeah, but you're just making that up. You're doing a rob. You're doing a rob and making it up.
How do you know
guessing
that?
at that?
Because I've read it. How do we know
I've read
anything
it.
from
I've read the tweet.
Anyway,
the tweet doesn't say Edu chose Dyche. Two people
In a roundabout way.
high powered. Hang on, they don't necessarily always agree, you know.
The tweet doesn't say Edu wanted Mancini.
I told you before. Don't say "and you're wrong." Say "and you're wrong because," and then tell me how you know I'm wrong and what it is I'm wrong about. Okay, stop being a trolling arsehole. Okay,
Who?
I don't need it. I really don't.
Somebody in the chat.
Okay.
I don't mind if people come back with an argument. I absolutely don't, because everybody's entitled to it. But when it's just "and you're a twat," "and you're wrong," that doesn't mean anything.
Okay, I've got the exact wording here.
And you,
Okay,
Crypto, I'm telling you, mate, you're going to be taken off that.
What have I done?
If you keep putting up just negative
Why are you
stuff about
firing
me, you're
shots
going to
at
be
me?
taken off it. I promise
Why are
you.
you firing shots at me for?
Okay, let me just read the wording. Forest is delighted to confirm the appointment of Sean Dyche as club's new head coach, following a thorough recruitment process.
Yeah, that's a lie.
Huh?
That's a fucking lie. A thorough.
It's an official tweet.
40 yards away. So that's a lie.
Okay, led by global head of football Edu and global technical director George Sirianos.
Thank you.
That's all they've said on it. So I think it's
Mention
fair.
Mancini.
But Edu is also included in
Hold
that.
on. I think it's fair to say that both had a part to play.
There you
this.
go.
Can we all
Pat
agree
said
on
it
that?
well. Pat said it well.
Okay.
Yeah. Not just Edu.
I didn't say just Edu. I said Edu brought the players in.
Anyway, let me do. There's loads of super chats.
What's wrong with the players that he's brought in?
I'm not blaming the players. You guys were talking about how the players have been brought in, and now you don't.
Oh
think
yeah, I get
Dyche
that.
will
Yeah,
work
yeah, yeah.
well.
Yeah, that's why I want. Yeah, mind you, I say that's why I wanted Mancini. Mancini's as negative as Dyche when you think about it.
He's not.
So
He's not.
Maybe you're right. All right,
not.
not quite, but you know what I'm saying.
Okay, Frederick with the 65. He says, no one is a prophet in their own hometown. I hope Dyche gets the support of all the fans. Come on, you Reds. Of course he's going to get the support of all the fans, bro. But, like, we can debate it. Why was it, by the way, why was it okay for people to not have been happy with Ange, but not okay
I was
be
thinking
happy
that.
exactly, yeah.
with Dyche?
Yeah,
Is
they weren't,
there,
they
like-
weren't happy with Ange's stats. You could talk about Ange's stats, but you
honestly,
can't talk about Dyche's stats.
Like, are we not
Yeah,
allowed just
28%
normal?
win.
Are we not allowed normal debates anyway? This isn't aimed at you, Frederick. I'm just saying in general. Thank you for the 65.
He's great. I love Frederick though. He's great. He's a great lad.
He is a top bloke. Big up to Jason with the 7 months. Shout out to you, Jace. Big up to Stuart with the 1 year anniversary. He says Dyche won't and Stone Forest boys. Stuart's buying into it. Stuart's buying into it.
Why has Dyche become a forest boy? I mean,
No, Stuart loves it. I mean, but this is the thing, you know, there's a lot of Forest fans that are on board and have been on board from his press conference. So that's not a bad thing. We're not saying that. That's definitely not a bad thing.
No,
I just don't. I'm just not so. Me and Ant are just not sold by we think it's a lot of smoke and mirrors. And you know, the proof will be in the pudding. Will be the results. Will be where we end up in Europe. And that's what he's ultimately going to be judged on, the same way Ange was.
But you got to give him a fair chance, haven't you? You can't just.
Well,
you can't.
Did you say that? Yeah, but did you say that about Ange? Why all of a sudden does he have to be going
I was one of the
Yeah.
ones that give Ange a chance.
Yeah.
Let me just catch up on the
why-
super chat. There's still quite a few more, right? Shout out to Stuart. James with the 37. He said, thank you, mate. He goes, I think we all have to wait and see with this one. Of course, look, as angry as I was yesterday about Sean Dyche, I still will judge what I see on the football pitch. The PR spin is lovely. Yeah, Ian won't. Me and Carlos are a similar age, both of us 23 years old. Ian won't, the free kicks, the thunderbolt shots, the one against Newcastle.
How many?
It doesn't, and you don't understand. Like Ian won't probably relates.
I do. It's not my.
No. But what I'm saying is, like Carlos,
I
maybe
had posters on the wall. I had Wone posters on the wall and Stern.
14, baby, all day. You know what I'm saying? But it's like those are the childhood memories that you remember. You don't remember every goal, but you remember particular ones.
But you can spin it another. You can spin it another way. Stan Collymore tweeted and said this was a great appointment. So
yeah, but Stan, we've always said he's a fantastic, magnificent, probably the best I've ever seen footballer. But he's not right in the head. We've always established that.
Well, I don't know how he's blocked me on Twitter and not you.
Hey, can I read this out? Because this always makes me laugh.
No, let me read the super chats out first. Hold on. Shout out to you, James. And we've done that one. Big up to you for 37. It's crazy. Poison Soup, my guy, with the 1 year anniversary. Happy 1 year anniversary to you. Jason with the £2. He goes, will we get set peaks coach now? Ian won't. Ian won't. Yeah. Shout out to you, Jason with the £2. Big up to Curtis as well with the $2. He says, checking in, gotta go. F Dyche.
Yes, Curtis.
Never minces his words. Shout out to you, Curtis. Big up to James with the £1 super sticker. Shout out to Tomster. He says, Edu wanted Dyche, not impressed with him again. Good thing Ant's looking away. Edu's on fraud watch for me if he's involved in this one. I love what he did in the recruitment window.
Something weird when you were literally.
Did you not just hear what I said? I love the window that he did, but this puts him on fraud watch. Shout out to you, Tomster. Big up to the Nella Dan with the 3 year anniversary. Shout out to you. He's got Wadinho there. Wadinho will be no doubt part of what we see going forward.
He'll be our central defender.
And shout out to Sharky with another £5. He goes, our win rate this season is 12.5%. Sharky, man, don't depress me, bro, any further than I need
Sharky,
to be.
why are you bringing that up, mate? Come on.
Up to you, man.
Right, can I? So
yes,
before I knew Carlos was coming on, so I was going to give some balance to this.
Let's give some balance.
Try and find some positivities in this appointment and the timing of his appointment. And like I say, I mean, I contest, after 8 games, we're not in a relegation battle. But let's just go with, narrative that we're in a relegation battle. And this is what we've got to look forward to for the rest of this season. But we've seen a lot, in fact, and it's the same person talking about it. And I don't really want to bring him up, but Carragher's been talking a lot about this style of football that's been coming in. And he actually did a good bit on Monday Night Football, looking at Man U's performance against Liverpool and how they were picking up every second ball. They were harassing them around the throw-ins, and that's what led to their winning goal. And also we've been talking about long throw-ins, set pieces and all that sort of stuff. So maybe an old school manager with an old school style of football is what we need right now, or is what the Premier League needs right now. And for that, I think he's the right man. Now, I can genuinely see him going back to a 4-4-2 or 4-4-1-1, if you want to call it, and playing 2 strikers. So that we saw on the weekend, I thought it was a pretty positive performance from Taiwo, considering he wasn't, bear in mind, he was only in the squad because Aina got injured. He wasn't even in our 25-man squad originally. So for him, it was a decent performance. And if he'd had a number 9, a proper number 9 alongside him, a Jesus, let's say, I think they could have picked up some of the scraps from the carnage that he was causing, because he was, I think Chelsea played into our hands, but also set their own traps, trying to play it around in the back, but it could have worked. So maybe an old school manager with an old school style of football is what we need right now, is what's working in the Premier League right now. We might start seeing long throws. You might start seeing, get the ball up the field, win the corners, win it high up in their area, and that style of football, a harassing football. And it might work. So that's me trying to put a positive spin on it. Does anybody agree with that? Or are we just trying to find...
I'm going to Dyche's number 1 fan with that one.
Are we trying to find ways of making this Dyche ball work in our favour?
I think the Dyche ball, so-called, will not be too far away from Nuno's tactics. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see us get better at set pieces, because we're utterly atrocious at set pieces. So that, for me, will be exciting. But as I said earlier, I think the biggest thing, and you might not agree, but the biggest thing he's got to come in and change is the mentality of the players. Because if you take those players individually, we have some very, very good players, but mentally, I don't think their head's in the game. They don't look like they're playing like they were in the first 9 months of the season under Nuno. So if he can get that improving, then I think we'll start to see some good results. And that includes things like holding out for, 1-1 draws and stuff. I'm not saying that's what I want to happen, but at the moment we're just getting thrashed every week.
Is that the style you want to see, Carlos?
It's not what I want to see. I don't find that entertaining, but where we are at the moment, 17th in the table, somebody's got to come in and secure up the squad and try and get us to be more consistent.
Yeah,
The
we've
thing
got to
about
start
that-
getting
I mean,
clean sheets.
Let me Carlos think. Go on there, because he's the backer of this.
Yeah, look, I think the main thing what we need him to do is get us organised and start having clean sheets, which keeps us in the game. And there's less pressure on the forwards if we're keeping clean sheets to like take all the chances. And I know like we was creating a lot under Ange, but because we were leaking so many, the pressure was just building on him. Look at what's happened to Milenkovic this season. He's not even half the player he was last season. We need him back. We need last season's Milenkovic back. And I think someone like Dyche, he's the perfect player for Dyche. Get us organised, get us compact, get us keeping clean sheets, keep us in games. Yes, we might nick the odd 1-0 or 1-1 draw, but it's better than what we're doing now. We can't carry on doing what we're now.
It is, Carlos. It is better than under Ange. We were only going one direction, and it was not good.
Yeah,
and he will definitely stabilise us. I have no problem with that whatsoever. And I think he'll get our defence improved. And to be fair, the attack can't be much worse the way it is at the moment. The reason why the players looked sort of disinterested or whatever, or not playing well, is because they were confused with what the fuck they were supposed to be doing under this previous manager. I think that's what it was. I don't think that I just don't think they knew what was happening, and they were being asked to do things that they perhaps weren't suited to. Like Milenkovic, for example, my issue is I have no doubt that we will improve. Well, I have virtually no doubt that we will improve defensively, and that's a good thing. My argument to that is always there are managers out there that will be able to improve the defense, but will also make you play a better style of football and a more attacking and progressive style of football. You can do both. If you're a good manager, you can do both. I think.
I agree.
I just want to read this comment out because it always makes me laugh when I see this. From Claude Witham. Ant is too self-opinionated as he always thinks he is right. Now, can I just ask Claude, do you go into a discussion, an argument where you think your opinion's wrong when you're saying it? Because if you do, that's kind of crazy. Normally, when people express an opinion, they do think that they're right in that opinion. Otherwise,
what's the definition of opinion?
Well, opinion is an opinion. I'm not going to
from the person giving the opinion.
If I give an opinion, when I'm giving that opinion, I believe that opinion is right.
Otherwise, but what you're saying is you've got to have the ability to, if someone counteracts you, you have to be open to changing your mind.
He is. Well, no, I will defend Ant on that. I will defend Ant on that. He does change his mind a lot.
I do.
After a while,
I guarantee you.
All right. I didn't mean to bring a seriousness to it. Just carry on.
How about this? I guarantee you, if we beat Porto 4-0, Porto 4-0, Ant will be Dyche.
I won't be Dyche, but I will be singing his name at the ground.
Oh, you will.
That.
Look,
Sean Dyche
go back to the question that I asked them. What can Dyche do to win you over?
Win games.
It's dead simple, Carlos. He's got to turn us into a good team that wins its fair share of games and plays decent football.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Okay,
yeah,
but can I ask you, Carlos?
Call a flip. I mean, I don't change my opinion.
Exactly, Sebastian. Exactly. You've nailed it.
Exactly. I'm really like almost laughing at these last few days. Like You know, I'm not allowed to say this. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say the other. It's my opinion, man. It's Ant's opinion. It's Carlos as Ben's opinion. And the thing is, we're saying everyone in the chat, have your opinion. Have your opinion. It's like, should we? I almost feel like everyone just wants us to come on here and be like, this is the greatest thing. This is the best appointment in the world. We're gonna win the league. We're gonna do this. It's like, come on, man. Let's have the discussion.
Yeah, I don't know, Wolfie. You do know, don't you, that there's the other part of the comment of the viewership that wants to come on here and do exactly the opposite. You do know that, I think that at the moment, I think that the fan base is split, but we're united in hope. Oh, isn't that lovely?
I don't think so. I think the fan base is quite.
The one thing we won't put up with is this utter woke nonsense.
Yeah. Have you ever thought it's only Dycheball because of the crap players he's had?
Taking the S off nonsense.
Yeah, Nick, but okay, have you ever thought there's a reason he hasn't been given good players?
My analogy, Lester Piggott, one of the greatest jockeys of all time. And people can say, yeah, but he always had the best horses. Why did he always have the best horses?
Because he was the best jockey.
Dyche did say in his interview today that he wants to make.
If you're being given donkeys to ride in the derby, you know that it's because people don't rate you as a jockey.
Dyche said what, Carlos?
He said in his interview today, he did say he wants to make us a powerful offensive team.
Offensive or defensive?
Offensive.
Okay.
Did he say that in his interview today? Or where's that point?
He said a lot of the right things. It's going to be down to what we see on the pitch.
Yeah,
but I am happy that it's united with some of the fan base. I'm glad about that. I'm just saying that we're, as a channel or as GOR or the GOR rights, we've always given our honest opinion. And on this one, we can't pretend to be happy about it if we're not happy about it. So like I said, I'm glad Carlos has come on because we did need somebody who was a bit more on the opposite side to it. And I've tried to give a little bit more balance. But what I am happy about genuinely is that the fan base are happy. You know, there's a large portion of the fan base that are, maybe he wouldn't have been their first choice. He might have even been their second choice, but they think, okay, he's coming, he said the right things. I'm thinking, yeah, maybe he can do it. So they're being positive about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. And but I'm not, what we're not going to do is.
But we'll see. How
can I counter that? Can I
see how they feel on Thursday night after it's pissed.
Yeah, I would get that if let's pretend Pierce had never managed us and Pierce was coming in, or a Des Walker, or even even Ian Wone was put down as manager. I get that connection. This dude didn't play a single game for Forest, man, and everyone's acting like he was born in the city ground. He's from Kettering. He's from Kettering.
Can I just say?
Isn't it?
I think he's made a power move, yeah. I think he's like the three-eyed raven, mate. He's just hung by the city ground for all these years, and he's just waited for his chance.
Yeah, Squatter's right.
And now he's going to take the Iron Throne. And
Squatter's right, man. Once they're in, you can't get him out.
He's his lifetime's ambition, mate, and he's a three-eyed raven. I'm telling you, that's what it is.
To be fair to Dyche, though, like I genuinely thought his interview was good today. And he has said the right things, and that's what you want to hear as a fan.
I thought Ange had some great interviews. In his first interview, he said, "I will never be able to be compared with Cloughie." You know,
I know, but
they get fed these lines, bro. Look at the foreign players that come in.
Entertaining than saying the right thing, though, wasn't he?
Yeah, we need someone. We need someone.
His first interview was good. Ange's was
entertaining. I think Dyche today has come out and made us all feel a bit more relaxed. Because I was worrying about the Porto game. Porto are a fantastic team. Now I'm starting to think it might not be too bad. We might be able to get something out of Porto.
I hope you're right.
Sort the defense, get the set pieces worked on. Obviously, he's not going to turn around things in 2 training sessions, right? But I've been won over by the presser, Daniel. That's
Gary, I'm not saying everyone is calling him a legend. I'm saying the PR.
I'm not saying he's a legend. He's definitely
the
not.
PR spin is making him out.
Look, maybe if Jaguar had used Forest PR team, they wouldn't have been in the shit show that they are and effectively gone bankrupt. But
let me bring up something that was said on the interview that I think has not been really picked up on, because I keep getting told about this defensive kind of acumen, this defensive structure and everything. And then Colin just chucked him right in it. He's like, mate, you haven't kept a clean sheet in 20 games.
Yeah, that was brilliant. That was.
And Dyche was like, you know, it should happen, mate, and it just creeps up on you and all that, and then like suddenly you get a bit of bad luck, and then so like that, I was like straight away, I was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
20 games.
I was going to mention that earlier on, but then I thought, no, because people will just say I'm being negative, because I mentioned
can't talk about that.
Because I mentioned that Postecoglou had lost 22 matches out of 38. He's going to come with his, he's not, because people get very easily upset.
So is that something we should worry about then? 20 games out of clean sheet.
Yeah,
Carlos, you're the one singing the praises.
What's the question?
We can understand
20 games in a row without a clean sheet.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's
you're
not
telling
ideal,
me he's
is it?
a defensive master.
I think our biggest problem at the back is defending set pieces, and I think if he can instill that into us, I think we've got a fighting chance to stay into games. We've got a good midfield. We've got good midfielders that can help protect the back four. We're just incapable at the moment of defending set pieces, and sort that out, and I think we'll be all right, personally.
Okay. We've only got about 10 minutes to go.
Let me be clear, right? Make no bones about it. Like, the type of football Dyche plays, if we're not winning and we're not picking up points, he's not going to go down well with the fans, is he, after a few games?
Sounds like you flipped off.
Wait. Let him walk into my trap then. Because you asked us, or some of the panel guys, what would it take to win you over? What would it take for you to turn on him?
If we're still in the bottom three, come, let's say, March.
March.
Oh, you're going to give him that
Come March.
No, Carlos,
he's
I'm
going to get
March is 5.5 months away. If we're in the bottom three in March, then we may as well sign Steve Cooper again.
We're not going to swap managers again, are we? This is it. This is the one.
Yeah, we will. If we're in the bottom three in March, I promise you that manager's gone.
Do you think he'd sack another manager?
Yes,
of
course.
Yeah,
keep sacking until you get it right. It's the continental way.
I'm not sure he would.
You don't keep a manager who's losing every single game just because you've already sacked one this season.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's crazy. There is a slight worry.
We can be bottom three come March and only be like a point away from getting out of the bottom three. Doesn't mean we're dead set bottom of the league.
Where we were last season.
8 games into the season. We're 8 games into the season. What's your projection for the next 30 games? Bloody hell!
Yeah, by March we'd be like 30-something games.
Hang on, I don't think we're going to be in that position. But the question was, what would make me turn on him? That's what would make me turn on him.
March is a long way.
I don't think we're going to be in that situation.
One at a time.
I shall get us nicely mid-table, I think, personally.
Okay, but bro, come on, me and you known each other a long time now. Yeah, I'm going to say this: March bollocks.
What do you mean?
Given a lot of rope,
you hold out till March.
That's a hell of a lot of rope.
You think I'd turn on him sooner than that?
I would give you till January the 8th.
Possibly.
No. You know what I think it is? I think Carlos is convinced.
Too well, man.
I think Carlos is convinced we would not sack another manager this season.
I don't think we'd sack another manager this season.
We would if he lost a load of games in a row.
We can't afford to.
Can't do that. If he lost the next 5 or 6 games or 8 games, he can't sack another manager.
If he lost the next 10 games, it'd be worse than Ange.
Has that ever happened before, though? In the Prem?
How many did Leeds do? Did Leeds do 3 or 4 that year? They got Sam Allardyce at the end.
Somebody. Yeah, I think it was Leeds, wasn't it?
Was it Leeds?
Yeah.
They had like Jesse Marsh. They had that Garcia. Was it?
I can't remember.
And someone else. I can't remember. No, they had 3. That would have been 3.
Was it Javi Garcia? Was it?
Yeah, and then they had 3. But no, look, in a way, you're kind of right, because if we're in March in the bottom 3, then pack the bags up and swap places with Coventry or whatever. We're done. But I gone.
Are we prepared to just write off Thursday because it'll be our 3rd game? All right, okay. So we need a result, don't we, out of that game?
Yeah.
So
we need something.
We need.
Well, it's not a must win, but it'd be bloody useful.
Aren't Porto in like really good form at the moment, though? Right? They're like one of the most formed clubs in Europe.
Gaz, I love you, bro, but like, what's this whole negativity thing? I'll tell you what, I will be positive if we beat Porto and we beat Bournemouth and we beat Man U. Like, I'm looking at what he's done. I'm looking at what he's done at Everton, and I will judge him on what he does at Forest, by the way. I think that's only fair. I said that to Ange as well. But I don't understand. Gary, do you want us to sit here or me to sit here? I mean, Carlos has been extremely positive for a start about Ange. But why does the opinion only have to be the way of the person that's watching?
And why does our opinion matter? Why does our opinion matter? Why does our opinion change?
And like I said earlier, I don't believe that it's being negative to want the best for your club. I don't see why that's a negative.
Or question the situation we've put ourselves in, because that's what it is. Because this has not happened by accident. This has happened by major mistakes from the hierarchy at the club, and that's put us in this situation. But we can discuss it. We don't have to be all in on it, but we can be. It's constructive. I think what's been said tonight has been largely constructive. Any criticism has been that way. We're not just jumping on the bandwagon or going against it for the sake of going against it. But I'm not going to hide how I feel about it. At the same time, I'm willing to give it a chance.
Have you heard the expression that goes something like playing in the orchestra on the deck while the Titanic goes down? Mm-hmm. I'm not one of those guys. I won't sit on the deck playing whilst I'll be the one shouting, mate.
I've heard you'll be the one shoving the women and children off the way of the lifeboat.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard the expression. If I lost a few kilograms, it'd be like chucking a deck chair off the Titanic.
Man, I love you, Sai. I love you, Sai. But we're discussing the pros and cons of a manager. Does not necessitate being negative about it.
Am I supposed to sit here and say Sean Dyche is a fantastic manager? What he's achieved in football is unbelievable. What he's going to do when he comes to our side, we're going to be fantastic. I know we're not going to let any goals in. We're going to score loads of goals. We're going to win every game and win everything. I'm so glad that Dyche is here. Is that what we're supposed to do?
We got backing from the start.
That would be lies. That would be lying to you.
You know when Carlos says, oh, it's not possible that Marinakis sacks another manager if we lose 8 games. I feel like this meme answers it. It is.
That's not what the meme says.
Has it happened, has it?
He hasn't been sacked yet. He's only had 1 training session.
No. Has anyone sacked 4 managers in the season?
It might have been a bad training session.
Probably.
Would get rid.
Okay. So let's be positive now, boys, because that's what the chat wants. Shout out to Forest Faith. He goes onwards and upwards. Let's get behind Dyche. A rip to Stuart Pearce's son. Condolences to family and friends. 100%, bro. Thank you so much for the £5. Right, if you want some positivity, let us know. There's over 700 in here. We're on 180 likes. And let's be real, right? We all know we could have come on here and said, oh, Dyche this, Dyche that, happy clap this, happy clap. And the likes would be at like 700, okay? I hear it, but I honestly would prefer, if I was a viewer, to be watching people giving their honest opinions. Whether I agree with them or disagree with them, it doesn't matter. I just think it's funny that the negativity towards Ange was allowed, but any negativity towards Dyche isn't. And you know what? So I would say Anne and Ez on the panelists here have been the most negative about it. Boys, would you be quite happy in 3 weeks' time if Forest have won 4 games in a row to sit here and say, you know what? My bad.
No, because I want Xavi in. It's better to be genuine, though, isn't it? Like, people sit here and say, don't be negative, don't be positive. Like, be genuine at the end of the day. Yes, but from my perspective.
All right, let me answer Andy because he keeps whining. I want to know, Wolfie, why are you picking more holes in Dyche than we did with Ange? I picked holes in Ange, but you know what? At the very least, Ange came into Forest with a trophy from last season in the competition we are in. Dyche has come with ticket stubs from the Forest matches, bro. That's the difference, okay? That's the difference.
Dyche has got a worse win percentage as well than Ange. But the point I was going to make is that if you're genuine to yourself, it doesn't matter what people think about whether you're negative or positive. I think we've been quite fair tonight. Like, we've sat here, we said we're going to back the manager. We want him to win. We want him to do well. No one doesn't want him to do well. But we can't overlook the fact that his win percentage, as an example, is 28%. His football is very defensive. He's the type of manager who gets brought in to save you from relegation. Now, maybe that will all change, and maybe he will be really positive with his approach and will beat Porto 5-0 on Thursday. Maybe, but you've got to be realistic as well. And if people don't want to hear it, then that sounds like a you problem.
Okay. Yes,
Well
but some
said,
folks
well
are
said,
just going
Peter.
negative no matter what. I've just been accused of I was too positive towards Ange when he came in. You can't fucking win, man. You can't win. Like, seriously. Anyway, let's continue.
Have these guys been watching us early in the season? Or
How about the last 2 years? How about since Cooper left?
I mean, the
That's
name
what
of
I'm
the show is
early in the season, when
Punt.
we were talking about we're definitely going to win the Europa, we're going to aim for being in Europe this season. There's no reason why we can't win the FA Cup. That's how we were. But you have to go on the evidence of your eyes and the appointments that are brought in. Things have changed since that first game of the season. Things have changed. You know, we've lost Nuno, which I don't have a problem with, if I'm honest, because the last 3 months of his time at Forest was very poor. We have had a disaster with Postecoglou, and now we've brought in a manager that we're not sure of. So things change. You can't be positive all the time. I wish you could.
Yeah, you can't be positive about things that are potentially not great either. Like, you can't be happy about things that, you know, Sean Dyche doesn't have a great record. We shouldn't be like, oh yeah, it's brilliant. Sean, it's not genuine. If Sean Dyche was coming in here with a 70% win record,
let's be honest. Let's be honest. Let's give a balance.
The last 3 years in a row, then I'd be more positive.
Do I expect Sean Dyche to come in and steady the ship? Yeah,
Yes,
I do.
100%.
Yes, I do. So there's the balance, and that could be enough. That could be enough to get us somewhere near the Forest that we saw last season, and that might be enough to get us a decent season. But if you want, I was hoping we get round to, like, at some point giving our predictions on where we think Forest will finish now, because I'm gonna have to remember to redo my predictions for the rest of the season now as well. So I've got to send those through. But in terms of
send me the link back.
in terms of under Dyche, 100% we're a top 15 team under Dyche, and that, I think, if I was Rob, I'd be happy with that at the start of the season. If I'm Ez, I'm not happy with that, because I went for top 5 at the start of the season. So I've gone back 10 spots, but it's enough to keep us up. Am I confident we'll get to the latter stages of Europe? No, but if he can get me a result on Thursday, I might just change my mind on that one. But I want your guys' opinions, please. Where we're going to finish and how we're going to do in Europe under Dyche.
Fuck knows. Well, I'll tell you what. For me, if we keep Dyche to the end of the season, we'll struggle to get out the Europa League phase, and we'll finish bottom half. I would probably say around 14th. So you can
top
clip
15
that.
then. Top 15. I'm happy with that.
Top 15, yeah. Top 15 finish.
That's what we'll get.
What are you saying, Ben?
I'm going to say, if he doesn't get sacked by December, I'm going 15th in the league, and it'd be a Forest thing to do to get knocked out in the final of the Europa League.
Oh, so we'll make the final. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Carlos.
I'm going to say we're going to win the Europa League and we're going to come 10th.
Okay.
Bloody hell.
That'd be a good season. That'd be a good season.
I tell you what, he would be a Forest legend if he did that.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, then he's got something that they
Exactly.
can PR spin. Exactly.
Then he's got credit in the bank.
Yeah. Let me just make this one point. This for me isn't even about Sean Dyche. This for me is about the club, and the club messing up so badly that we are now talking about bottom half of tables and what have you. And 5-6 weeks ago, we're talking about winning the Europa League and pushing for the European spots in the Premier League. This is all on the hierarchy within the club who have fucked this up royally.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Dyche is just a symptom of it. That's it. It's not his fault he plays the style he does, or has the track record.
He clearly cares as well. I think he genuinely cares about the club.
I don't care if he cares, bro. I don't care if he wins. I just care if he wins.
Yeah, but we need someone to care.
No, I understand that you'd rather have somebody. See, I was worried about Mancini coming because he's 60 years old. He's had a fantastic, glittering career, but he's pretty much at the end of it. And how much invested in improving Forest would Mancini be? So I do understand that thought of yes, he looks really pleased to be here, which he should be. So I get that. I do get that. I'd rather have somebody that cared than somebody that is at the end of the career.
Yeah, but I'm going binary. I'm saying if I had to choose between care and win, I'm choosing win every time. Is my point.
Yeah, 100%. But he still cares about the club.
Yeah, of course.
If you look at Ange's interviews are all about him and his Spurs history and how it's all about him, and he always wins in his second season. I don't think Sean Dyche will be like that. I think he genuinely cares. And don't forget,
he's never won in his second season, bro.
And he's been out of work for 2 years, mate. You know, he's going to be.
Yeah, but we need someone to bring the club together. I think Sean Dyche is the man for that.
Well, anyway,
winning will bring us together. I can promise you that.
Winning is the
win on Thursday. We'll win on Thursday. I can guarantee it.
Well, let's see just my last point. I'm not bothered about what he says. It is down to what happens on the pitch. But I guarantee you, there's no way the club spent over 200 million in the summer for us to be in this situation. So we have messed up. We have massively messed up, yeah. And if he can't get the best out of what he's got available, then I think, like Ange's dead in the Premier League. Nobody in the Premier League is ever going to hire Ange again. Dyche could either make it or break it for himself. But I do believe he's been waiting a hell of a long time for this particular job, and he's put himself in this position. And now he's got his chance. So he's only got himself. He can prove it, or he can absolutely kill his legacy. He can create one, or he can destroy one. It's up to him. But he's been. I firmly believe he's wanted this job above any other job in the Premier League. I genuinely believe that, and I think that's why he's been hanging around.
Do you know what this reminds me of?
Go on.
Do you remember when Benitez got the Real Madrid job and was sitting there in his press conference crying and shit? Do you remember that?
Yes, I do remember that, and we saw how that ended up. But he has got a team around him.
Having a massive desire to do something or to achieve something doesn't guarantee you will.
I would be acting like Dyche right now. If that was me, sat there in that seat, I'd be like, "Oh, mate, this is the dream come true." Oh my god!
Yeah, but I got that for him. I got that from him. He seemed to be.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I think any one of us sitting here would have pretty much said word for word on what he said. Anyone in the chat would have been saying word for word what he said. This is the whole freaking Make-A-Wish come true thing. But you said it doesn't line up. Yeah, but the statement, which I'm almost certain is ChatGPT, by the way, done. Because who says more than 330 Premier League games, not more than 300 games? But anyway, qualities that align closely with the current squad's attributes and the club's footballing identity.
What a load of bollocks.
ChatGPT. I'm convinced.
And on that note,
what a load of
on that note, we're going to send you over to the happy clapper.
I've got an important announcement. For anybody who's struggling to find the Arsenal Atletico Madrid game on TNT, it's because it's on Amazon Prime.
Okay, I'm sure we'll.
Oh no!
Right, we're gonna send you over to this man's channel. This man here, the happy clapper, right there. So make sure you go and just drop what's trolley word trooper. Put happy clapper in his chat and make sure you've subscribed as well. He's a Forest true red. And he's really shit at gaming. So this is going to send you straight over on Knocked Up TV. So make sure you've subscribed. And we'll see you there in the chat in a second. Please subscribe if you're new. Come on, you Reds.
Up the dash.